Hello all the students, welcome to the online course of Matrix Methods of Structural Analysis. So here we have started with unit number 5, Stiffness Matrix Method for the analysis of portal frame. So let us see very first the derivation of standard stiffness matrix for portal frame. So here we consider that a frame element of length L, flexural rigidity EI and axial rigidity AE. Remember, the frame is having 3 degrees of freedom at each node, and those 3 degrees of freedom are displacement in x direction, displacement in y direction and rotation. So accordingly, here we have considered the member of length L having two nodes, node A and node B. So at each node 3 degrees of freedom. So node A is having 3 degrees of freedom. Those are shown here in this below figure. D1, that is displacement in x direction, D2 displacement in y direction and D3 rotation at node A. These three are the degrees of freedom at node A. Similarly at node B, another 3 degrees of freedom, D4 displacement in x direction at node B, D5 which is shown with vertical arrow, displacement in y direction at node B, and a circular arrow in anticlockwise direction D6, that is rotation at node B. So these are the 6 degrees of freedom per element, that is for two nodes. So if you derive the standard stiffness matrix for this frame element, the size of stiffness matrix is 6 by 6. Total degrees of freedom are 6 from D1 to D6. Therefore, the order of stiffness matrix is 6 by 6. Now, to derive the stiffness matrix for frame, let us give unit displacement to each degree of freedom one by one. Therefore, starting from the very first step, let D1 equal to 1. D1 is displacement in x direction at node A. So here in figure 1 that is shown, when we give the displacement at node A in right direction, that is in positive direction, by a quantity or amount is equal to 1 unit. So that time this stiffness, that is force per unit displacement, is generated in horizontal direction. Therefore that stiffness is given by AE upon L in right direction, and at node B the another stiffness, that is AE upon L in opposite direction, that is in left direction. So this is the figure 1 for when D1 is equal to 1. First step. Second step, let us give the unit displacement to second degree of freedom, that is D2 equal to 1. D2 is displacement in y direction at node A. So let us give the displacement in y direction by an amount 1. So because of this, the beam, it gets deflected in this shape, for which the sinking moments generated are six EI upon L square in anti-clockwise direction, and at end B also 6 EI upon L square in anti-clockwise direction. To balance this clockwise anti-clockwise couple, reaction should form clockwise couple. Therefore the reaction at node A, it should be in upward direction, and reaction at node B should be in downward direction. And this amount of reaction at both ends, it is calculated as addition of these moments, 6 EI upon L square plus 6 EI upon L square divided by span of beam L. So that is equal to 12 EI upon L cube. Step number 2. Now let us see step number 3. So in third step, let us give unit rotation at node A, that is D3 equal to 1. D3 is rotation at node A. So rotation at node A in anti-clockwise direction, in positive direction. So rotate this end A in anti-clockwise direction by a 1 unit. So because of this, it will take the shape of this way. And rotational moment, that is rotational stiffness, that is generated because of giving this unit rotation at node A. This is the near end at which the moment generated is, this is 4 EI upon L, and the far end moment generated, that is this 2 EI upon L. Anticlockwise at near end A, because rotation is given at end A, therefore the moment is 4 EI upon L, and far end moment at B, 2 EI upon L. Now reaction. Magnitude of reaction, addition of moment 4 EI upon L plus 2 EI upon L, 6 EI upon L, divided by span of beam. So that becomes L square. 6 EI upon L square, 6 EI upon L square. And direction of reaction, that is decided. These two moments at the two ends, both moments are in a anti-clockwise direction. So to balance this anti-clockwise couple, reaction should form clockwise couple. Therefore, the reaction at end A, it is shown in upward direction, and at B it is in a downward direction. So this upward and this downward, they form this clockwise couple opposite to the moment couple. Now the next step, that is step number 4. Fourth step, so D4 is equal to 1. D4, that means horizontal displacement at joint B, at node B. So when we give the horizontal displacement in x direction at this node B, so here the stiffness generated, that is force in horizontal direction in positive direction, AE upon L, and the same force in opposite direction at another node is generated, that is AE upon L in left direction. This is because of giving horizontal displacement at node B. Step number 5. So 5 number step, that is displacement in vertical direction at node B. So give the displacement in vertical direction, in positive direction at node B. So because of this, it will take this type of shape. Then the moment generated, show the moments generated there because of this displacement in y direction. So this moment in a clockwise direction, same the clockwise moment at point A, and the magnitude of moment is 6 EI upon L square, 6 EI upon L square. Moments are in a clockwise direction. Reaction should form anti-clockwise couple. So this moment should be in downward direction, and reaction should be in downward direction, and reaction at B, it should be in upward direction. Then and then only it can form this anti-clockwise couple. And calculate this magnitude of reaction. Addition of moment 6 EI upon L square plus 6 EI upon L square divided by span. So that is equal to 12 EI upon L cube. And last step number 6, that is to give unit rotation in positive direction at node B. D6 is rotation at B. When we are giving rotation equal to 1 at node B, that time, that means simply node B you have to rotate by one rotation amount unit. So this, it will take this type of shape. Show the moments generated there at node B because of this unit rotation. The moment generated at node B, it is in a anti-clockwise direction, 4 EI upon L, and at node A, 2 EI upon L. Anti-clockwise couple balanced by this upward downward reaction, they will form this clockwise couple. And calculate this magnitude. Addition of moment divided by span. 6 EI upon L square, 6 EI upon L square, that is reaction at end A and B. Okay, so here all 6 degrees of freedom are given unit displacement, unit rotation, and because of that we have calculated the moment at end A and B, also reaction at end A and B. Now from these 6 figures, see all the figures again: figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4, figure 5, figure 6. So from all these 6 figures we have to write the matrix, stiffness matrix, that corresponds to action corresponding to these 6 degrees of freedom from D1 to D6, and all these things are combined here in this matrix. So this matrix is called as local stiffness matrix for frame element. Okay, it is called as local because at the starting we have considered it in the frame element in a horizontal direction, which acts as a beam. But we know in portal frame it is a combination of vertical member, horizontal member, sometimes there may be inclined member. So first we'll generate the matrix in a local coordinate direction for a particular member, let us say AB horizontal member, beam member, and then we will convert this local into global so that that matrix can be applied to all elements of frame, portal frame. So here this local stiffness matrix, it is denoted by K dash. K dash, that is equal to, so firstly what you have to form, you have to draw the symbol of matrix this way and write down. Now here we know the size of stiffness matrix, total degrees of freedom are 6. So this local stiffness matrix, it will be having order 6 by 6, 6 column. Write down for each column its corresponding degree of freedom, that is from D1 to D6. Write down this way. 6 columns are there, now 6 rows. So for each row write down this way: D1, D2, D3, D4, D5 and D6. Okay. Now we have to write all these elements. So how to write these elements? Okay. All these 36 elements that we have to write down from those figures, from figure 1 to figure 6. So how to write these elements? So very first we will start from the very first element of this matrix, that is element in D1 column and D1 row. D11 element. So this element which is written here AE upon L, that means it is the action corresponding to first degree of freedom when first degree of freedom is equal to 1. When D1 is equal to 1, AE upon L, that element, that means D11 element, it shows it is the action corresponding to D1 when D1 is equal to 1. So for that we have to see the first figure, figure number 1. So let us move to the figure number 1. Here is the figure number 1. Okay. So action corresponding to D1. D1 is what? Horizontal displacement. And action corresponding to this D1, it should be horizontal force at end A. So see node A and see the horizontal force at that end. That is given AE upon L. Therefore, this element, it is written here in this first column, first row. AE upon L. Okay, got the meaning of this one? D1, D1. Now what we'll do? We'll write all these elements in a column wise. Okay, in column wise. Here we'll complete this column first and then we'll move towards the next columns. So this AE upon L, it is clear. Now writing these elements. Okay, so for this what you have to do? You have to see the figure of D1 is equal to 1. The element degree of freedom which is written for the column. Okay, you have to see the corresponding figure of that degree of freedom. So this is the first column under D1. So see the figure D1, and after that you have to see the next row of this one corresponding to rows. Okay, so here we will move according to the next figures for writing the next number. So first AE upon L, it is written from figure 1. Now second number that we have to write from figure number 2, that is when this second number D2 is equal to 1. So D2 is equal to 1 at node A. What is the corresponding action corresponding to this D1? So see figure number 2. Figure number 2, at node A, action corresponding to D1. Action corresponding to D1, that should be horizontal force. At node A only vertical reaction and moment is present, no horizontal force is there. Therefore the second element, that is written 0 here. Second element is written 0. Now third element, that is under D1 column, D3 row. So for row D3 number is there, so you have to see the figure of D3 equal to 1, and in that figure you have to see action corresponding to this D1. So let us move to figure number 3. So here this is the figure number 3. This is the node A. Action corresponding to D1, that should be horizontal force. No horizontal force, therefore that element is written 0 there. Now next element, it is from figure number 4. So in figure number 4, that is when D4 is equal to 1, action corresponding to D1, that is horizontal force, that should be present at node A. If it is not present, you have to write 0. If it is present, you have to write that quantity with its sign convention. It is towards the left, therefore that element is written minus AE upon L. And similarly the next two elements, that is this element and this one, which is in row number D5 and D6. So to see figure number 5, figure number 6, at node A no horizontal force is present in these two figures, therefore the next two elements are written 0, 0. Similarly, okay, this first column is completed now. Now we have to complete the column of this second. How this column is written here? D2 column. So again for that we have to see all 6 figures according to the rows. According to these rows, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6. So when D1 is equal to 1, in that figure, what is the action corresponding to this second degree of freedom? D2. D2 is what? Displacement in y direction at node A. And action corresponding to that vertical displacement at node A is vertical force at A. Vertical force at A. Reaction at end A in vertical direction. So in all 6 figures, when D1 equal to 1, D2 equal to 1, D3 equal to 1, D4, D5, D6, in all these 6 figures, you have to see node A, and at that node A, what is the corresponding reaction in vertical direction. So from all these 6 figures, these values are taken, and these values are reaction at end A in 6 figures. So let us see. You just overlook these values. In first figure 0, second figure vertical reaction should be there of 12 EI upon L cube, third figure 6 EI upon L square, fourth figure there is no vertical force, so written 0, fifth figure it should be a downward reaction 12 EI upon L cube, and sixth figure it should be a vertical reaction 6 EI upon L square. So let us see all these figures one by one. So figure 1. So in this figure, action corresponding to vertical reaction, vertical displacement at end A. So end A no reaction, so written 0. Second figure 12 EI upon L cube. Third figure 6 EI upon L square. Fourth figure no reaction 0. Fifth figure minus 12 EI upon L cube, and sixth one 6ai upon L square. So the same thing it is written here in second column. So work out remaining all columns. Okay, for example, again one more column we'll see D3. D3 column. D3 is what? Rotation at end A. Rotation at end A. An action corresponding to that rotation at end A, it must be a moment generated at end A. Moment at node A. So in all these six figures, when D1 equal to 1, from figure 1 up to figure 6, when D6 is equal to 1, you have to see moment at A, and that moment according to the figure, this element from figure 1, this element from figure 2, element from figure 3, 4, figure 5 and figure 6. So these numbers, these values, they correspond to moment at A corresponding to this degree of freedom D3, which is rotation at A. Okay, so these three are the degrees of freedom, D1, D2, D3 at A. Similarly, D4, D5, D6, these are at B. So this column D4, that is horizontal force at B in all six figures respectively, all six elements. This D5 column, it is vertical reaction at B, and this last D6 column is moment at B. And all these elements you have to write according to sign convention. Moment anti-clockwise positive, clockwise negative. Okay. So this way here we have completed the half part of derivation of standard stiffness matrix for frame element. So this is K dash, local stiffness matrix. Okay. So in next video we will see the transformation matrix, that is converting this local coordinate system into global coordinate system. Thank you.